as the megapixels went up, the camera's dynamic range went down. Did you know that for a full HD 1080p display, all you need is 2 megapixels? Guess how many megapixels you need to display 4K? I'll tell you somewhere along this video. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, the A7 SIII is finally out. The A7 SIII is finally out. And the specs are very, very interesting. And I've had a few questions pop up in different groups, and I just wanted to address this real quick. Do megapixels really matter? If they do, what effect do megapixels actually have? The 12.1 megapixel is very strategic in my opinion. I believe that the 12.1 megapixel allows this camera to do things that no camera of its size has ever done before. For the first time ever, we are able to film with no limit. Absolutely no limit. We are able to film to 2 cards at the same time and add an external recorder, so you can have 3 versions of your film at the same time. And this is priceless for wedding videographers, because usually you only have all the video on 1 card, because even if your camera had 2 slots, it only filmed video to 1 slot. So this is a breakthrough for wedding videographers, not big time filmmakers, if you get what I mean. All right, now these features, I don't think they would have been possible with a 60 megapixel sensor. It would overheat. Now, there are several factors that add up to the quality of an image. It's just not megapixels. You talk about the dynamic range of the sensor. You talk about how the sensor perceives light. And then you talk about pixel density and, the large... So just for comparison, right, there's a reason why the Nikon Z6 performs better at low light than the Nikon Z7. The Nikon Z6 is about half the megapixels of the Nikon Z7. With less pixels, the camera performs better at low light because the pixel sizes are bigger, and there's some science that goes on that I cannot explain right now. But think about this. 1 megapixel is 1 million pixels. Let that sink in for a little bit. 1 megapixel is 1 million pixels. Let that sink in for just a little bit. For a 4K display, all you need is 8.5 megapixels. That's all you need for 4K. 8.5 megapixels. So 12.1 megapixels is more than enough. And this camera is not trying to shoot any gimmicky 8K that will only shoot for about 3 minutes. And I'm not trying to put down the R5. To be honest, if I had money, I would buy the R5 for stills and not buy the A7 SIII for video. In short, the camera manufacturers have been playing around with megapixels unnecessarily just to be able to charge more. And for most of them, it's all about the bottom line. It's all about money, and everybody's buying, this megapixel, this megapixel, this megapixel, and that misinformation is making them money. So they don't need to inform you that, hey, we don't need to do this. And Nikon and Sony right now just stirred up the market because they are doing something that will expose a lot of things. And I'm pretty excited for that. I think the competition is going to get back to the drawing board and try to do what they try to do, catch up to Sony. So we'll see how that goes. One thing that happened was, as the cameras were fighting over megapixels, with time, as the megapixels went up, the camera's dynamic range went down. So it was clear that a higher megapixel didn't necessarily give a better image quality. Higher megapixels allow you to be able to zoom in 200% and still have a good image. but the higher megapixels lower the dynamic range. And if you make videos, you know dynamic range is very important, because you can move all of a sudden into a sunny situation and then it's shady right there and you have both scenes in the same shot, and you don't want one to be completely dark or one to be completely blown out. That being said, the 12.1 megapixels on the Sony A7 SIII is not a limitation in any way whatsoever. I think that it's actually an advantage. It's the reason they are able to do all the wonderful things they are doing, unlimited recording 3 times at the same time. That's crazy, because the readout rate is so much faster, and I'm sure it also helps it not the sensor not overheat and other stuff. So if video is your thing, don't hold back because of megapixels. Well, thank you for watching. If you have learned anything, or just if you watched more than 5 seconds and you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you.